All right, man. And one other thing wanted to make sure we touched on here is shout out to Carson Wentz throwing 4 touchdowns on Sunday for the
Yeah,
Commanders. This
yeah,
is not a game that you probably wanted to watch on TV. The Commanders and Jaguars is not exactly going to be an exciting game for most people. But
right.
Carson Wentz. If you're a Commanders fan, you're happy to see this. If you're a Carson Wentz fan, I'm sure there are some of them. Most of them probably have his last name. But the truth of the matter is the guy's he's on the
Right.
comeback trail. He's trying to get himself back in there, and to go out and throw four
Yeah.
touchdowns in the opening game, hopefully inspires a little bit of confidence in the team. There've been some
That's
rumblings
it.
on what they'll be able to do. Nice touchdown throw to Jahan Dotson in the back of the end zone there. So
Yeah, my boy Jahan. Penn
yeah, some
State.
good
Let's
stuff
go.
happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. Got Terry involved.
Yeah,
Antonio Gibson, nobody knew. And I mean, Antonio Gibson, we could probably spend a whole story on, a whole show on him. Receiver in college, gets to the NFL and they move him to running back.
it's
We're
crazy.
disappointed in him at running back. Like, yeah, of course. Like, the dude wasn't a running
Yeah,
back.
I'm
You
not a
made
running
him
back.
one. Yeah, like, no, I get you. And then Brian Robinson comes in, is all set to take a spot, gets shot in a carjacking. And then Antonio Gibson goes out and has, 7 catches. I mean, and plays a heck of a game. So, I mean, that's another great weapon for Carson. It was good to see. I mean, the 2 picks, that's actually a little high for Carson. That's not
Yeah,
usually
he does
his
not turn the
his
ball over
MO.
a
Like
lot. You got to give him credit for
no,
that.
he doesn't. And that's the whole thing that I had said, okay, I think the Commanders could possibly take these just because of the turnover situation. So you got the win. That's good. You can't obviously throw 2 picks a game,
Yeah,
and expect to win. But yeah, but good for him, man. Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, it's
yeah,
just no one. I mean, couldn't beat Jacksonville. That's why he's not an Indianapolis Colt.
that's it. That's
Couldn't beat
it.
Jacksonville to get into the playoffs,
Yeah,
and that was all she wrote. I mean, and you can't really blame the organization, the Colts for for that. Like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work.
yeah.
We need to go a different route.
Gave it a shot.
Although they go and lose, and with
Yeah.
Matt Ryan's debut, it was very uninspiring as well. So
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how in the world you have Colts, Texans, end in a tie. I mean, come on, man. It's like that headline just describes the AFC South. Like that. I mean, these
yeah,
these two teams can't, like, first of all, again, if you're the Colts, you gotta beat the Texans. You got to, like, that's a
yeah,
win for you. You gotta win that game. And if you want to be a late season contender, a loss to the Texans on that record, that ain't helping you. That's just not,
not only
these losses, these week one losses for some of these teams, they're going to come back to haunt them later in the season when it's wild card
that's it.
time, playoff time. That's going to be when these losses really come into play.
Sure, and these ties are always so tricky, just so tricky. The
Yeah.
the ties, how they play in and how they factor in, and it's gonna come down to something to do with that. And I agree. I mean, now maybe they do go on a roll and win the next 5, 6 games,
Yeah.
and we
More
don't,
power to them.
that it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's tough. And good for Davis Mills, man. I mean, he played really good at the end of
Hmm.
last season, and they had a chance to go out and get someone, and they were like, nah, I think he might be the person, and threw two touchdowns, no interceptions. So I mean,
Yeah.
ended in a
Doing some good
tie,
things.
but I
You're
mean, so
right.
did in all
Yeah.
in all in all fairness, the Steelers and Bengals game probably should have ended in a 2020 tie as
No
well, and it
kidding. No
didn't. So
kidding.
how crazy would that have been?
Oh,
Like two 2020 ties on
yeah.
opening day.
Well, they say
Uh,
ties like kissing your sister, and so I'm guessing Davis Mills kind of felt like that, and don't let me forget, because that's actually going to lead into something I'm going to talk about in a little bit with you and get your opinion on. But last thing I wanted to touch on the NFL side, and unless you have anything else, last thing for me, how can the Panthers manage to blow that game against the Browns after everything that Baker Mayfield did, the history still continuing to run his mouth? Baker Mayfield makes it clear to everyone he is not a man who learns lessons. That is, like, take it or leave it. You better like him how he is, because he's not going to grow. He's not going to evolve. He's not going to change. You'd hope that he leaves Cleveland, keeps his mouth shut, puts his head down, goes to work, and rewrites the narrative on who he is as a person, more importantly, as a quarterback in this instance.
Yeah.
And instead, he just does the same things, makes the same mistakes, and then, goes out and he played fine. Nobody's knocking, his play in that game against Cleveland. On paper, it looked fine. But the reality is you can't lose that game. And you were in position to win it.
Nope.
You were in position to win the game. Can't
100%,
happen.
100%. No. I mean, you got Jacoby Brissett on the other end.
Yeah.
Like, again, these would just be, you know what they're going to do. You know they're going to run the ball. That's all they're going to do. And you can't stop it. So I don't know. Does that is how good the Browns could possibly be? Or is that more on the Panthers? I don't know.
Well, and look, nobody's under any sort of impression that the Panthers are a good team or going to be a good team or anything like that, right? So we know that's the case. But this game meant something. Now it meant something to the Cleveland Browns as well, right? They certainly wanted to shut Baker up.
Sure.
And again, that's the downside of running your mouth. It's the downside of running your mouth. Don't do it unless you can back it up. And Baker's consistently been a guy that just, I don't want to say he's been more trouble than he's worth, but I want to say that he digs his own grave in a lot of these situations.
Sure, 100% that. Yes. I mean, just like I said, hey, you know what? I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to let my play on the field, do the talking, and just move on. But yeah. Well, that was a good week one, man. I can't wait for next week. And
I just don't even know wherever it goes from here. It's going to have to go down, right? There's no way that
you would think so.
The adrenaline rush that is week one can't continue, and moving forward. It just gets to be too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here was my thinking. Had a little bit of a story I read recently I wanted to get your take on, but before I did that, was there any other stuff that we needed to cover that was still outstanding? Because this is going to be off topic. This is off topic from football stuff, sports stuff.
Very nice. I like off topic. No, I think we're good. I think we've settled it up pretty well.
Okay. So I see this article the other day, and I made a note of it, and I'm actually bringing it up right now here. And I wanted to get your take on this. This is apparently real. Okay, so let me be clear with that. I say apparently. I don't know these people. Okay, but
sure.
But it is an interesting situation. So rather than me hope that I'm going to be able to explain, I'm just going to read it to you as it was written.
Okay.
And the headline kind of gives you quite a bit of information already. And the headline is, I just found out that I've been dating my biological brother for 6 years. Okay. Written by a female. Been dating her biological brother for 6 years. So I see this, and of course I'm kind of like, okay, what are we talking about? Are you dating your biological brother? So I'll give you the background.
All right. What?
She writes.
It's got to be a background.
This requires some background. She writes, I am 30 and my brother is 32. I'm just going to call him my boyfriend for the majority of the time while I type this. I feel weird about this. I was adopted as a baby, but I did not know that I was adopted until I was in high school. It didn't feel like a betrayal. It wasn't a big deal. Like, she loves her parents. My parents love me. Who cares if they aren't my real parents? My boyfriend was also adopted. And when we met, it was one of the things we sort of bonded over. We both didn't learn we were adopted until high school, and we were both lucky and had good families. We weren't passed around from foster home to foster home. Okay.
Okay.
Similar backgrounds make it easy to bond, right? No, nothing too crazy there. Our relationship was and still is great. We understood each other very fast. We were attracted to each other quickly. I've never met someone and felt immediate attraction and familiarity. Now I know that the comfort and familiarity is because he's my brother, not my half brother. He is my full brother. We've done everything a couple that has been together for 6 years could do. We've said we love each other. We've had sex. We've celebrated anniversaries. We've met each other's families. I'm just glad we both agreed early on that we don't want to have kids, so that has never happened. I don't want to deal with the health risks and have to raise a child and have them know their parents are siblings. So long story short, because I could keep going with this, but essentially they did a DNA test to see ancestry and what exactly they were. So she ordered 2. They both did them. Took like a month for the results to come back. She's excited to see what the results were. But before she could even get to that, she saw that they were siblings. I was shocked to say the least. I only just found out this information. And at the time of this writing, she had not told her boyfriend.
So he didn't get his results, or she opened the results and hid them from him?
I think she logged in quickly and got the results, and then has just kind of, I guess, told him after seeing this, like, that they hadn't come in yet. Like, they don't have the results yet. So he hasn't told him this. So she says she's really hoping they made a mistake, but things are kind of starting to make sense to me now. We always get the, you guys look so alike, or he's the male version of you.
No.
Long before this test, we've always gotten compared. We always just laughed it off. But I have spent the morning looking at pictures of us together and realizing that we really do look so alike. It's freaking me out, and I don't know what I should do. I still love my boyfriend / brother, and we've been together for 6 years. We have a house together and a whole comfortable life. I'm hoping that this test is wrong and we'll do a real test soon, but I'm panicking. I still see him as the love of my life. So, first of all, there is a follow-up to this. There is an update. But before we get into the update, I wanted to get your take on this fantastic story.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the update.
I mean, again, these are real life scenarios, because now, it used to be not that long ago, this person would have never known she was dating her brother.
No, you'd never know.
Now we have these ancestry tests, these DNA tests, and you can learn a lot of different information. And it turns out, I mentioned earlier that a tie's like kissing your sister. This poor bastard really is kissing his sister right now, and is about to find out.
Kissing his sister.
Only found out because of a DNA test.
So is she found out? I mean, like, he's going to come home from work and want to hug and kiss her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not going to tell him. Well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, at that point,
you're going to sleep with him? Are you not? Like, what continues to happen?
Like, no, how is that not the first conversation? Listen, we need to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a major thing to have come up in your life. You're together for 6 years. You own a home together. I mean, this is like, let's face it, if you're not having marriage conversations after 6 years, there's probably something potentially wrong there. So
sure. They're brother and sister. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's...
So you're saying maybe their familial bond is what has delayed their marriage.
Yeah, it's like something just doesn't feel right.
Just doesn't click. Just doesn't click for some reason.
Goodness.
Good news is we can donate blood to each other, and I've got a kidney match if I ever need a transplant. There's no issues there. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Let me be the first to say, I have no idea if this is a true story. It's presented as being a true story. I believe it is a true story, but I do not know that it's a true story.
I guess my, we probably have to hear the whole backstory, but I've done the DNA test.
Yeah.
I'm sure the dude, unless the dude just doesn't check his emails, like, you get emails that say, hey, your history is in, come take a look, because they want you to go in there, because they want you to buy more stuff. They want you to, add on to this or that. So that I would have a hard time believing, but again, maybe she did both of them, signed them both up,
Right.
and they were going to her email, so I guess we don't know the full story on that. So I'm always a skeptic with it, but
Yeah.
oh my goodness, if true, oh my gosh. What if you're the guy, what would you do? Well,
I can't. It's beyond
I don't
it's beyond comprehension. Like I can't even imagine a scenario where you find where like your significant other wants to sit down with you and they say we need to talk, right? Like, hey, listen,
sure.
like after work, like you get a text message like, hey, when you get home tonight,
Yeah.
can we need some time to talk? Can we talk after dinner? Right away, you're like, what's
Yeah.
going on
What
now?
happened?
Like,
What
what's
we
she
did?
upset
What's
about? What
going
did I
on?
do? You know it's gonna
Yeah.
be bad.
Yeah.
You don't know it's your sister nagging you. You just know you just know that you need to sit down and have a conversation. So okay, I'm gonna have the conversation with you. How, like, of all the things that could go through your mind leading up to that conversation, hey, honey, turns out we're brother and sister, is just not on the radar, man. So I don't even know
No,
how you could react.
like it would be, I cheated,
Yes.
I have cancer,
Right.
I don't love you anymore,
Yes.
I'm in love with another person,
Yeah.
I'm buying a dog, whether you like it or not.
Sure.
Uh, Not,
Yeah.
you're my brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I got fired. I mean, there's so many things you can talk about. Like
Sure.
like there's a million things. I got in a
Sure.
hit and run today. I
Yeah,
tried heroin
yeah.
for the first time. Turns out it's awesome. Like there's just a million things that you could talk about. But the one thing of all things that could be, I just got picked to go on the space shuttle, and I'm going to go to Mars. Like
Sure.
anything, never
Right.
ever that we're related.
No, no. And, maybe you'd even be like, oh, we're third cousins.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is
Well,
the thing. If you say, "Oh,
all
well, it
right.
turns out we're related," yeah, it's kind of like, "Well, related how exactly?" Like,
Sure.
okay, sure. You mean like some weird distant thing? Like, oh, that's kind of maybe we'll
Right.
just take that to the grave, and no one needs to know.
Sure. Yeah, we won't tell anyone
Yeah,
about it. And so there is a follow-up, you
there
said.
is a follow up. Now, I will say this follow up
Uh,
is not with as much information as we would like.
uh,
So here's the latest that I have. I posted this the other day. But since then, I showed him the results, and he realized that we're siblings. He doesn't want to freak out or to make any big decisions until we get a real test somewhere. But I can tell he's freaked out. And it was,
you think?
come on. And it was odd laying in bed next to him. I'm sorry. I know you own a house together. That house has to have a spare bedroom. There are no houses that are one bedroom
Listen,
homes. You've got to have a spare bedroom. I'm in that
you,
room, spare room,
yeah,
until I
let's,
know.
until we know for sure, let me get
It
real
felt odd
awkward.
laying in
It was awkward when he caressed me and
bed.
kissed the nape of my neck. What now?
I mean, look, yeah. I
You mean
don't
you
think you
didn't
need
go
to
stay
mention
at
that
your
it was
mother's
awkward
house?
laying next to him. Like, of course, it was awkward laying in bed next to
Why
your
are
brother.
you laying next to me?
Yes, that's the bigger problem. The bigger question here is nothing to do with, okay, you're dating your brother, like whatever, you figure that out on your own. Why were you laying next to him after you found this out? Why
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
happening?
Listen, I'm gonna go stay with my mom.
Yes.
I just need some time to clear my head.
Yeah.
I'll just sleep on the couch.
Yeah. I'll sleep in my car outside of the DNA clinic where I'm going to get another test and wait till they're open. Like, this is something that is the most now important thing. I'll quit my job tomorrow and I will spend all of my time getting blood tests done.
Yeah.
Like,
No, we will. We will. Yeah, I'll pay for the extra. I'll pay for the overnight shipping. Like, let's just get this thing moving here.
yeah. She always says I'm cheap, and I guess it runs in the family, but this one thing I'm willing to spend a little extra on to make sure it's done right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Now it'd be terrible. Like, if let's just say it comes back that like, oh, we made a mistake. It's not.
Hmm.
Isn't it still running through your mind? Like,
It's got to be, right?
are we sure? Like,
Yeah.
now how do we know
Yeah.
that DNA
Like
test
we've got
wasn't a
one
mistake?
yes, we've got one no.
Like,
Like,
I'm probably doing minimal 5 to 6. I
yeah.
think, like just to
Yeah.
and if it isn't
Well,
a 3-3 tie, then I'm probably just
well,
out at that
and the other
point.
thing too is, look, I don't know, right? I think still maybe considered early days as it pertains to DNA tests, but I understand the tests can be inaccurate, mistakes can be made. There's certainly no doubt about that, but I don't know how often two unrelated people would take a test and the test would come back that they are siblings. Like,
Yeah, like
unless there was a mistake made and they evaluated her both times, someone threw
both
his
times.
sample away, but I don't even, she didn't do two samples, so I don't know how, like,
Right.
do you do multiple samples when you do it? I've not done one. So you've been through this process. She said they
No,
spit in
no,
a
no.
tube,
It's
so I don't know if
yep.
that's all it is.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just in the tube. You put there's some chemicals or something you have to mix and do like
Okay.
the cap itself. Like you crush it and the stuff comes out of the
Hmm.
cap. It's pretty high tech. I was always concerned that like they were going to pull my DNA because my long lost brother committed like
It's how they
mass
found the
murder
Golden State Killer.
somewhere.
It's how they found the Golden State Killer. That's exactly how it happened. Family DNA test, man. That's why I haven't done one.
Come back. Like, can we get a DNA sample? No, I'm good.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah.
I just how does it tell you like how long between updates? Like,
So, I mean, I don't, I could do a deeper dive on this. I do not have the information there. I mean, I can try to find it really quickly while we're sitting here talking, but the original story looks like it was originally posted. This is actually from Reddit. Looks like it was originally posted 2 months ago.
okay.
So I mean, they may have started a family by now. It's hard to know. Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of looking on,
Because
and
it's like, oh, he doesn't want to freak out yet. I'm doing an update. He doesn't want to freak out yet until
yeah,
we get the test. How was the test not even done? Like at that point,
yeah. If you have
oh
time to
gosh,
update Reddit, you have time to get more tests done. Like
yeah,
they're
no,
like,
you
this is a
can
priority issue.
definitely
This
get
isn't
more.
even a DNA issue. This is a priority issue. You need to prioritize your time.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So
Oh,
look, I mean, at the end of the day, whether it's you or I or anyone watching and listening to the show, we all have trials and tribulations, right? We all have problems that
sure,
come up in our lives, right? So
sure.
loved ones get sick, stresses at work, these types of things, right? This is
Uh-huh,
part of it,
uh-huh.
right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, understand there's always someone who has it worse. There's always someone out there sleeping with their sister,
who's sleeping with her sister? Yeah,
just just living together, not as brother and sister to their knowledge, but yeah, that's a
yeah.
thing. That's a thing. People are living that life. Now, here's the thing: this is only one that happened to be on Reddit. We don't know how many people are in this situation that haven't taken DNA tests, and if they did, haven't chosen to put it out there on Reddit either. So, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's the other thing too. What possesses you to be like, oh man, let me go to Reddit. They seem to be warm and
I need
caring.
advice. I need advice
They'll
on
know
this.
what to tell me.
I need advice, and I can't go to like our mutual parents to talk about this. So I'm gonna go to Reddit. Uh,
Oh, I'm gonna go to Reddit.
yeah,
Yeah, everyone there is caring and kind and considerate. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
it's
there's got to
it's an
just be a
embracing community.
got to be just a lot of questions, and I think this is the type of thing where you read it, you
Oh,
instantly put yourself in the shoes of the person, and you say like, well, how could you lay next to them? How could you continue to like? What do you mean you're not going to freak out? Like all of these things. Look, I mean, 6 years is a long time. You built a life with someone. I mean, it's got to be weird.
that is, yeah,
I
that's a
do think, though,
lifetime,
there
man.
are
Like,
certain
yeah,
things and this is maybe a topic we can talk about in another episode. Won't have time to do a deep dive into this tonight, but it's an interesting topic, which is there are certain things that can happen that instantly hit the reset button for you on wherever you are in your life or whatever has gone on.
Yeah.
You could think you're in the best relationship in the world, deeply in love, really just a wonderful, caring relationship like none you've ever known.
Yeah.
But the moment you find out that's your sister, like I'm not sure that that's like a thing that like you just go, wow, I'm really conflicted over this. Like I just feel like that's a reset. That's a reset.
Yeah, that's
button.
That's an automatic, that's an automatic
Yeah.
reset, that's the old red ring of death on the Xbox. That's just purchase a new console.
Yes. It's
We're
like,
not
it's
gonna try to
over.
fix
I'm
the
out.
old
Thank you.
console.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Best of luck.
We're not fixing that old console.
No.
We're not trying to solder some wires together. No, we're just gonna go out and buy a new console at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it would be for me.
Yeah. At a certain point, the ship has
The
sailed.
red ring of death of relationships.
Yes. Is you marrying or being with your sibling?
I mean, oh my God.
It doesn't even seem possible. Look, and I'll be the first to say, I have two sisters, two younger sisters. And, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever contemplated being in a relationship with them. So again, maybe I'm not the guy to talk about this, right? Maybe
you might not be the expert on it.
Yeah,
no, sure.
I think it's hard to find experts in this field. It's an emerging field. It's hard to find people that can really speak from experience on this. But yeah, that is like, you hear that story, you think of that situation, you put yourself in that position and you go, this is the worst possible thing I've ever heard or can possibly think of that could happen in a relationship of any kind.
Yeah.
Like we've seen kids who find out that the people they thought were their parents aren't their parents. Like, okay,
Sure.
cool. But they're just not your parents. They're just someone else. This is different.
Other people. Yeah, no, this is
way worse. This is way worse because there's no winning. Like there's no good. Like if this is true, there isn't like a secondary thing. Like, and they're not going to come back and say, "Oh, you're right. We're sorry. You are cousins, your nieces and nephews. This is either you are or you are not." And unless if this was an error, this should be lawsuit worthy from these people. You should be able to sue this company if this was done in error. Yeah,
exactly. How does the next date with someone else go? So tell me about your prior relationship. Why did it end?
Yeah, honestly, it was a really, really good 6 years, but
It was a good 6 years,
yeah, it's just, some things just don't work out. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, And I just felt like God felt strongly that we were not meant to be, and he interceded. Or he brought us together. Look, I don't know. This is the thing. If you're looking for a sign, is this a sign that you are meant to be together, or you are not meant to be together?
Sure. Now listen, she's always going to be family to me.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm hoping this breakup happened in like February or January, so I can skip Valentine's Day and save a little bit of money. And I got a year under my belt before I need to see you again. I don't know that Hallmark card that's like, "Hey, sorry, turned out we were siblings." Like,
rats.
Well, they say all the good ones are taken, but sometimes they're taken by their own brother.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. What a story.
Yeah. So, if you think things are tough in your life, just know there's always someone that has it worse. And this girl, she's got it worse.
That's the lesson we take away. Yeah, this is the lesson we take away today. There's always someone out there dating their sibling.
And finding out about it. Like, I think about what I want to know is, where was I when she got those DNA results? Like, it's like, where were you when Kennedy was shot, or where were you on September 11th?
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what was I doing in that age of innocence? Like, where was I at that time when this person was opening this email or this package or whatever it is that said, you are with your sibling? Where was I in that moment?
Oh,
Yeah. Was I traveling? Was I just being frivolous, watching TV or something? Just these things that just go through your mind. Like,
yeah, just wasting another half hour watching The Office reruns.
Exactly. Meanwhile,
This
someone's
person's
whole
finding
world
out.
has changed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is, don't do DNA tests.
Don't do them. Don't do them.
This is what we're telling everyone out
Here's
there.
the thing.
Don't do it.
Other than you, I know of 2 people that have done DNA tests. I've read about them. One of them turned out was related to the Golden State Killer. That's how they caught him. And the other one was a girl dating her brother. So why in the world would I want to go down that road, man? Like, no. There's a 0% chance that there's no payoff there for me. No. What am I gonna tell you? Like, it turns out like my DNA says I'm the son of Sam or something like that. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't need that.
Yeah, like I don't need that in my life.
Right now. I'm fighting a lot of battles. I got enough happening already, man. The last thing I need is to find out that my wife is my sister, or that I'm a serial killer, or I guess, or that I'm related to a serial killer. I don't think a DNA test will tell me if I personally am a serial killer. That's when we get really advanced.
Yeah.
Get really advanced testing. We're like, let me see here. How'd this turn? Oh, man. I'm a serial killer. Dang it. I knew I've been sleeping really well lately and having some weird dreams.
Tom Cruise is out there flipping screens and got the precogs going on.
You gotta catch me in time. Oh my goodness. Well, my friend, what anything else we need to touch on before we wrap it up? We've given the people a ton of entertainment tonight, and there's more coming. We know that, and this alone is, I think, probably Nobel Prize worthy. The effort that we've put into this already.
Yeah. This is a Peabody Award at best, or at worst. I'm sorry, Peabody.
Very worst.
At worst, yeah.
Worst. The least you could do is give us a Peabody.
The least you could do is a Peabody. Yeah, I won't be present for it.
Nah, I'm not going to show up. Are you kidding me?
No, who shows up for Peabody Awards?
Exactly. The travel.
Honestly, man, I think we covered it all. Maybe let's give out where they can find us. We are debating. We're not debating, but we want to be doing some live videos through TikTok and some other places. So we just want to get our user content up, and we want to get some followers up. So give us a follow.
Absolutely,
we're on all the platforms. So
yeah. So Twitter is at Get the Horns Show. Get the Horns Show. On YouTube at You Get the Horns Show. And TikTok is also at You Get the Horns Show. We've got a lot of video, and understand too, when people are checking us out, we record what we've just done in long form content, hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, we could go all day. And then we try to break it down a little bit and kind of give more digestible bites, something you can listen to on the way to work, on a jog, whatever the case may be, working around the house. Sometimes 10-minute sections, 3-minute sections, 20 minutes, depending on the topic, things we're talking about. So, so check out the different platforms between YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and we're building out content, adding new stuff all the time. And a lot of good stuff there for people to check out. Yeah,
we'll be on Trump's social media network soon enough.
Just waiting for approval. It's a slow process over there. I think they're getting a lot of applicants. It's a slow process.
Yeah. Well, we'll be out there. We'll be on all the majors.
That's right. Yeah. Truth Social. We're on our way. So you won't find us on Tinder or anything, but you will find us on Truth Social. So
no.
So listen, if that's it, we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. We'll look forward to talking with everyone some more soon. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up in the near future. And, again, stick with us, like, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff to get updates when we are posting. Again, as was just discussed, we're also going to be starting to do some lives here soon, and we definitely want to see people tuning in for that. And I think we'll be able to have a lot of fun. So, my buddy,
Yes,
I enjoyed this, man. Had a great time connecting with you. A great time talking about a crazy weekend and some crazy stories.
yes, sir.
Fun as always. And we'll connect here soon.
I like it. As the great Geno Smith once said, they wrote me off. I ain't right back.
I ain't right back. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little music to play us off here, and enjoy the rest of your day, evening, weekend, month, year, whatever, whenever you're listening to us. Whoa. Hit that reset button.